This little machine, your walking's cut out, so you haven't got to walk to the back of the board to manoeuvre it. You stay right where you are and just go whammy.
Hey, I'm Bob McTavish, probably the oldest guy you'll ever see on Skuff TV. Today we're going to take a bit of a trip down memory lane and show you some of what it was really like to surf back in the 60s and how things changed and how you can go vertical now when you couldn't back in the day. My life's been surfboards. I'm 65, been making boards since 1962. Can't do the math. But I love surfboards. I'll take you for a quick tour and show you the progression that happened through the 60s right down to today. I shaped these three boards, that's why I just pulled them out of our hundreds of boards around the factory here. I can just quickly grab a couple of that represented the eras, you know. So, 1966. I shaped this board in one night, glassed it, and did the whole thing. My friend was heading off to Sydney quickly. And it came back to me recently. It was covered with paint. Stripped the paint off, now I'm restoring it. That one's 9'8", made in 1966, state of the art. 1968, we were riding this. This is 7'2" long, and it's a clean pintail. Have a go where the fin's mounted, man. So far forward, it's way up the board. But this is where we're trying to get the first shortboard, trying to get that loose feeling. So boards were coming down, you know, like every time you'd shape a board, it'd be 3 or 4 inches shorter from the one before. So in the 70s, this is where we got to, and it's before the thruster. So this was the pretty standard sort of thing. Okay, this is a twin fin, but there were a lot of single fins around this time too. Just before Simon in '81 gave us the thruster. And since then, everyone knows that history. But this is the steps before what you've got now. I never thought surfing would get to where it is today. Mainly size of waves. I mean, I know when the jet ski came out, I said that's the tool. You know, that was back in the 80s or 70s or something. But I never thought guys would paddle into such horrendous waves they're doing now and getting such huge barrels and such long barrels. I never thought that would happen. And the speed of the gouges and you know, just the blasting manoeuvres, I never thought would get this good. Aerials, yeah, I can see that happening. Once you saw guys in pools skating, so that's next for surfing. That's 30 years late coming, I reckon. Just handling the lip and handling the way the guys handle the barrel and the lip is just amazing. I could never see that coming. So that's surfing today. But if you want to see what surfing was like in the 60s, go check out Going Vertical. It's a really groovy movie doing the rounds right now, right around Australia, coming to your town. So it gets right into what happened with the shortboard revolution in the 60s. Great flick. See ya. I had this dream one night. I was riding this board. It was about 8 feet long, stubby, climbing and dropping on a big 8 to 10 foot wave, and crank the vertical face instead of running across the wave. I'm going to make a surfboard that can do that.
This little machine, your walking's cut out, so you haven't got to walk to the back of the board to manoeuvre it. You stay right where you are and just go whammy.
Fascinating turn with this deep V bottom. You could roll into these turns and do these big arcs.
I got A's in calculus. My ambition was to design the modern surfboard. I wouldn't let anybody touch my board.
Dope was an influence on everything throughout that surfing movement, from board design to music.
I first met McTavish with him and some other bloke came illegally on a boat.
The Hawaiian surfers, their boards were so big, these guys were doing one big slow turn and going straight. How disappointing. I grabbed a saw and I cut a foot off it.
Well, you get up there and get that power, you just go shoo.
One of the most influential surfboards ever made was the Big Pipeliner by Brewer.
This is before McTavish showed up. My part of history was already in a design standpoint.
And then the board went vertically right back up the face.
McTavish was shredding the hell out of it.
That board went like the clappers.
The media perceived that the Aussies invented this whole thing, and they didn't. It was basically a Brewer Hawaii thing.
The shortboard revolution definitely started in Australia months before it happened in Hawaii.
Our thinking was so far advanced from where they were.
He didn't see what was happening here.
I thought he was an idiot.
I don't give a damn.
Something's going on, man. That was the future of surfing.
Going vertical, the real story of the shortboard revolution.